It's a dream changer. Yes. It's a dream changer. It's big. And it's all about other people. That's what this business is about. It's about others. You can't get there without helping other people. So if your team is not large, what has happened? You haven't helped enough people yet. That's all. That's all it is. It's all about reaching out and helping others. Okay? Speak up? All right, I'll speak up. Okay. So I've studied with a lot of leaders, from Eric Worre to Anthony Robbins to Bob Proctor to Les Brown, Gary Young. I want you guys to give say a little prayer for Les Brown. He went in for major surgery yesterday. So let's say a little prayer for Les. So take a moment for Les Brown. He went for major surgery. He had major cancer, came back in his body yesterday, and he went in for surgery at 2 o'clock yesterday. So let's say a little prayer for Les. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And one of the things that Les has said, well, he's one of my leaders that I follow so much. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Okay, isn't that true? Everything you want is on the other side of the fear. You have a fear of doing presentations. You have a fear of public speaking. You have a fear of sharing with your neighbor about these wonderful oils. You have a fear about, it could be anything. And everything you want is on the other side of that fear. So what are you going to do to get to the other side of that fear? Okay? So let me tell you a little bit about, I had a lot of fears when I got started here in Young Living 21 years ago. How many of you guys know my story? Okay, how about a few of you all know my story. Okay, so would you guys like to hear my story? Yes! All right. Okay, so 21 years ago, we got introduced, my wife and I, or my significant other, Gail Ann, we got introduced to Young Living Essential Oils through a Native American shaman. If you guys I don't know if you guys ever heard of Milo Fat Beaver. He's an amazing man. Some of you might know Milo. He traveled the country, did healing circles and drumming, and when him and his partner Beth drummed, it sounded like, it was just the two of them drumming, but it sounded like 800 people drumming. Just absolutely amazing. And so Milo, I took Gail Ann 21 years ago around Christmas time for a healing session. And at that healing session, Milo worked on her with eagle feathers and hawk feathers, and it was just amazing. And Gail Ann sat in the row like 3 seats away, and Milo just worked with these eagle feathers and hawk feathers, and she felt absolutely amazing after about an hour and 15 minutes. And then at the end of the hour and 15 minutes, Beth offered Gail Ann 3 essential oils. And Gail Ann has been a healer for a long time, worked a body worker. She said, "No, please don't. I feel really great, and most of the essential oils I've ever experienced in my life make me ill." But Beth said to her, "I assure you these are different." And Gail Ann received her first drops of Young Living Essential Oils. And they were Release, Valor, and White Angelica. And it totally shifted her, totally changed her. She couldn't believe it, but she felt even better within 10 seconds. Then she came out of the healing session and came up to me, and I started to smell her from a distance. And then I started to hug her because she smelled so good, and I couldn't stop hugging her. And that was our introduction to Young Living Essential Oils. At that point, Milo said, this is how you get them. And we couldn't afford to get them. It took us 3 weeks to save $80. Okay, how many of you guys have been broke? Okay, I've been so broke, you can't believe it. So it took me 3 weeks for Gail Ann and I both to save $80. Back then, you got enrolled with an Essential 7 and a bottle of Valor. Back then, there was no internet. It was way before internet. So we got our oils finally after we saved for 3 weeks. They came on a Thursday, I think. We put those oils on that morning, and we felt better. We put those oils on that afternoon. We felt even better. We put those oils on that night, and we felt, my God, what is this stuff? It was like crack. It was like amazing. It was like, Jesus, you just feel good. I don't know what this is. You got to keep putting it on.
Give me some more.
So that's exactly what happened. We kept putting it on, and every day we kept feeling better and better until we went through that first kit within about 10 days. About 10 days we went through that first kit, and we somehow dug up another $80 and ordered some more oils. And then I tried to sneak out. I wanted to start to see if other people would feel good with these oils. People started to tell me, you smell good. I was like, I never smelled bad, but people said, you really smell good. So I started to want to sneak out. I tried to sneak out with all 8 oils. And Gail-Ann caught me sneaking out of the house with the 8 oils and said, where are you going with those? And she said, we have to come to some kind of a meeting here, what we're going to do. So we came to a conclusion. I would take 4 and she would take 4 and we'd go out and we'd share. And at that point, I really didn't want to do Young Living as a business. I was doing other network marketing things, but I really liked the oils. I really liked how they worked, and I loved using them on myself every day. So I used them. So I kept using Gail-Ann's oils and sharing them until about 8 months later, she finally said to me, you're done. You're cut off. Go get your own account. So I had to sign up because she's a smart woman. She said, you got to sign up. You're done. I'm done supplying you with your fix here, buddy. So I signed up. I got my own $50 worth of oils, and we were still really broke. And we were ordering, $50 to $100 a month. And it was addicting. It went from 50 to 100 each, and then it went to 150 each. You guys know the drill.
Yep.
Then it went to 200 each, and then it went to 250 each, and then it just like, oh my God, you just want more of these things. It's like, so guess what had to happen? We had to figure out how to share these. We had to figure out, because we wanted to pay for our habit. Okay? So basically, we had to pay for our habit. Yes, it was like, oh my God, okay? How do you pay for $300 each? And you got to learn how to share it. So Gail-Ann started to teach little classes and little things, and I would do a little business part of it, and we started to develop working our Young Living team. And it started with just a small group of people, and that's what I want to tell you guys. Our team is now large. It's over 65,000 people, but it's not. But that's really nothing. It happened. It became 65,000 people because of other people. It starts with one person. Now, that's the secret to this. Everyone says, well, how do I get to 10? How do I get to 100? How do I get to 1,000? You share with one who shares with one who shares with another one. And that's really how it happened. It happened person to person. And we started without the internet. When we started, we had a 3-page price list. Imagine that. We had the Gary Young story, a little trifold. Had the Gary Young story, and we had a cassette tape. Who knows about cassette tapes? We had a cassette tape, the Missing Link cassette tape, and that's what we used to go out and prospect. That's all we had. And what we had was, I have 3-foot arms, very long arms, 36 inches. So if you come by me, I can grab you. And that's what I did. People would walk by me and I'd grab them and say, look, have you heard about essential oils? And they'd be saying, I don't know, I never heard. Oh, I'd be putting oil on them as they were saying no. I would be putting oil on everybody. So I put oils in everyone that I could reach, I could touch, anywhere I went, I put oils on people. And some people liked me, some people hated me. And I worked with the people who liked me. So that was really how we got started, person to person to person. And it's been quite a journey. We've been to Egypt twice with Gary. A couple people, who's been to Egypt with Gary? There's a couple of us have been to Egypt with Gary, and just amazing in the back. Yeah, Connie was with us too, yeah. Just amazing, amazing stories and journeys, and how we used oils, and how we learned emotional techniques, and being stuck in classrooms, and Gary would lock the door and say, you can't leave. Yes, but you got to go to the bathroom. I don't care. You can't leave. We're going through an emotional protocol. So we've been through everything. When Gary started teaching raindrop classes, He taught raindrop classes across the United States, and we went to all of his raindrop classes. And Gail and I, we became facilitators at all of his raindrop classes. And I built my Young Living business basically on raindrop. Way back when you could touch people, I touched everybody. And I touched everybody with raindrops. I did thousands and thousands of raindrops. Like everybody, people sent their babies to me. Everybody. They wanted to get a raindrop because I was really good at doing raindrop from being in all those classes. So that was how I really started building my business. And we had a lot of fun with that because, first of all, don't you feel better after you give a raindrop to somebody? So imagine doing 6 raindrops in a row. You feel really good. You feel really high. You're like, oh my God. I guess experiencing all these oils. And how many of you have done an emotional raindrop on somebody? See, some of you know about that. Do the emotional oils up the spine. Very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. It's an idea for you guys. Okay?
Which ones do you recommend for that?
Well, it all depends on when you talk with the person, you see what they're going through. So you see what they're going through. I want to share with you guys 4 oils that I've been using every single day for the last 18 years. It's a protocol we call it the Happiness Protocol. It's valor on your feet. Yeah, valor on your feet. You know, I like valor. I use a lot of it. So I use 3 to 5 drops on each foot. And then it's joy on the heart. 2 to 3 drops of joy on the heart. And then harmony on your solar plexus. 3 to 5 drops of harmony on your solar plexus. And then white angelica, you take your hands and put it through your aura, rub it on your shoulders, on the top of your head, so you have your angels with you. I've done that every day, almost twice a day, for 18 years. So, what is that? What happened to me for the last 18 years? My frequency is high. My energy is high. It protected me from negativity. So it really changed the game for me. Changed the game for me by putting the oils on. I'm a product of the product. So I start out with those 4 oils, and then I add probably another 10 oils. Yeah, I brush my teeth with Young Living products every day. I use the mouthwash. I use the toothpaste. I use the skin creams. Then I go downstairs and I start taking supplements. And just like Jim Bob talked about all the different supplements, I'm taking all these supplements. So by the time the morning is over, by 9, 10 o'clock, I've used 20, 25 different products. Okay? So that's how you want to be a product of the product, because guess what? You can't sell what you don't use. Okay? And I said, so many people say, oh, I only use $100 worth a month. I'm like, how can you only use $100 a month? How's that physically possible, mentally possible? How can you use $100 of this a month? Don't you clean your house? Hello. Don't you wash your hands? Don't you brush your teeth? Do you go out in public? Do you go out in public? Do you got to carry thieves? You have to carry thieves sanitizer. You got to have thieves spray when you go to the bathroom. You know, you gotta carry these products. The Young Living is the greatest lifestyle company on the planet.
Amen. Okay?
Remember that. That's what you guys have your hands on. You guys have your hands on the greatest lifestyle company on the planet. And that's what you want to teach them. You want to teach that this is a lifestyle company. You are not a kit seller. Okay? Understand that. Kits are just a way to introduce somebody to this. But if you're a kit seller, you have really no business, because guess what? You can sell 100 kits and you can make $50 on 100 kits. But at the end of that $50, if you don't get people on auto ship rewards, guess what? You're looking for another 100 people. And you're constantly in that cycle of trying to recycle. Oh, I gotta sell these kits. And what happens to you finally is you burn out, because you don't teach people about essential rewards. You got to get everybody possible on essential rewards. And you know, Sarah harnesses with the game plan. She teaches you all that kind of stuff. Sarah has put together everything that I wanted to put together. She has done it. So it's so fortunate for you guys to have her here and to learn from her, because the woman is magic. She's such a great speaker. She's such a great motivator. And besides a great speaker and motivator, she has the tools. She gives you the step-by-step, blow-by-blow, how to do it and how to get it done. Okay? So let's give her a round of applause. I'm so excited to be here and to be hanging out with her. This is my first time to hang out with her live, so I'm just loving her. So, let's talk about accountability. How many of you guys have an accountability partner? Okay, we have about 12, about 20 of you have accountability partners. Okay, so what is an accountability partner? It's somebody that keeps you accountable every day. So when you go home from here, because you get all this information, you learn all this stuff from Jim Bob, who's amazing, and all this other stuff, and all these other leaders. And guess what? You go home and you don't do anything. Right. Because you're not accountable. You don't go home, you don't use the products properly. You go home, you don't talk to anybody new. You don't introduce people. You don't follow Sarah's teaching, because you don't have somebody to keep you accountable. You don't have somebody you can call up at the end of the day and say, what'd you do today? I don't know. I straightened out papers. I did my laundry. What did you do today? So you want to get yourself an accountability partner. Find somebody that's going to be strong with you, that's not gonna back down, that's going to hold you accountable every day, because that's what it takes to become successful. Is you got to be somebody has to hold you accountable, and most of us aren't accountable to ourselves because life gets you. It could be the kids having a bad day. It could be your husband having a horrible day. It could be anything that happens. So you need somebody to hold you accountable to keep moving forward, because there's so many stories of people here in this company that have built amazing teams, like Krista Smith, who has 18 kids. And somebody tells me, well, I can't do it. I have kids. She happens to have 18 of them. So, don't let all excuses are the same. They're worthless. Okay? All excuses are the same. Okay? And then, what are the two things that you need? Well, one thing is you need to be doing every day. It's income producing activities, IPAs. How many IPAs are you doing every day? There's only three things to do for IPAs. Income producing activities are where I help enroll. I might help. What's your name?
Julie.
I help Julie get enrolled and get her kit and get her on auto ship. Okay? So that's an IPA. That's an income producing activity. I produce activity off of that. Now, the next way to do it is, Julie, I tell Julie, make a list. How big is your list?
At least 200.
Absolutely. At least 200 people on your list, because I want to work with Julie to help her do some IPAs. Okay? So I help Julie do some IPAs. So Julie will get money for that, and then I will also get money for that. Income producing activities. I talk to so many people and say, I worked for 40 hours this week. And how many IPAs did you do this week? Well, I kind of talked to one person and they weren't really interested. And you didn't do too much this week, did you? Because your business will not thrive if you're not doing IPAs, income producing activities. You got to be doing income producing activities every day. The majority of 70% of your time should be spent on 70 to 80% should be spent on IPAs. Okay? It'll be a game changer for you. If you take what Sarah teaches you and harnesses that with doing income producing activities, the sky's the limit. There's no stopping you now. Okay? So, are you guys having a good time? Yeah. Okay. I have lots of stories. Who wants to hear a story about an old time thing that would happen with Young Living? Okay. Okay. I got the great fortune to be in Egypt with Gary, and Gary was filming a film. And we had the great fortune to film a film out in the desert, this great film that he was going to bring out and show it around the country. I still don't know whatever happened to that. But we filmed this film, and we were, Linda was there. Linda was in the film. Dick, you were in the film. Connie Donna, you were in the film. Yeah, so we were all in this film. So we had to go out into the desert with Gary. Early in the morning, we had to all get dressed up in costume. We were all in costume. We trekked way out into the middle of the desert, and some of us got to ride camels. It was very amazing. Mostly the men got on the camels. So I had the great fortune to be a man. So I got to ride the camel. As all of these women, it was like 80%, it was like maybe 90% women and 10% men. And we got to ride the camels. Some people got to ride horses, but most people got to ride, the men got to ride the camels. And the women walked alongside the camels as we walked way out into the desert. And we're doing this filming and over again. There were battle scenes, and it was crazy wild. So we're filming out there all day, and then we have lunch in the middle of the desert, and it was cool, quite a fascinating scene. So we're getting towards the end of the day, where we're done filming, and all of a sudden in the distance, I see this flashing, like a thunderstorm, like a rolling thunderstorm. And you know, you're with Gary Young, so he likes drama. So somehow Gary, I don't know if he created this or what, but there was drama. So you saw in the background, this was like, I don't know, because you see way across the desert, so this had to be, I don't know, maybe a couple 100 miles away. You see all this flashing, and you see all this thunderstorm, and then you see, oh, what the hell's happening? And so what happened is, there's a giant storm coming, and we're in the middle of the desert. And all of a sudden they say, oh, we need to get back. So we're riding back in the middle of the desert, riding back, trying to get back. People are rushing, people are walking, people are falling off the camels. It got insane. It got insane. Everyone's trying to get back because this thunderstorm is going boom, boom, boom. It's chasing us down. It's getting closer and closer and closer. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a real sandstorm. I've been this was a flat out, full-fledged, wicked sandstorm. And they were telling you to cover your face so you wouldn't breathe in all the sand. And we didn't get there. The storm caught us, and a lot of us were caught in the middle of the desert, couldn't see. I couldn't see from here to this podium. That's how bad it was. It was crazy. We got back. I watched people fall off their camels. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And so we're in the middle of the desert, and we're coming back. Finally, I got back. I get off my camel, and I can't see. We're in tents. We're in these tents in this middle of the sandstorm. I can't find the tent. I have no idea where the tent is. I'm wandering around. I don't know where the tent is. Somehow, this Egyptian guy comes to me and says, here, I'll take you back to the tent. I was like, he saved me. He's like, saved my life. I was like, wandering around. The tent was like only over there to where the tables were. But I couldn't see it. I couldn't find it. Remember, Linda? How it was unbelievable. So we get back into the tent. We're in the tent. And the wind is blowing. That we feel the tents are going to almost fall down. They try and serve us something to eat. Remember, they tried to serve us something to eat, and that was not working. And then the tent started to blow down. Remember? The tent started to blow down. Their tents. So they asked everyone to get up and hold the tent. Please get up and hold the tent. So we're holding the tent. We're holding the poles. The wind is blowing harder and harder and harder and harder, and the tent is starting to come down. So it was like, and it was hailing. That's right, hail, rain, and then all of a sudden, somebody said, okay, we need to abandon these tents and get back to the bus. So we abandoned the tent, and they said, leave the Egyptian people here, and we're going to run to the tent. So the Egyptians were holding the tent up. And they said, all the Americans run to the buses. I didn't have my shoes because they were in some back of a Jeep, and oh my God, it was crazy stuff. So that's the kind of adventures that Gary has taken us on, over and over and over again in many different places. I've had the great fortune to been with him. I'm one of the only 40, there were like 40 or 50 of us. We got to plant sacred frankincense trees. We went to Oman. I've been to Oman, been to the farm in Oman. I got Omani frankincense directly from the farm. And I got to plant my own sacred frankincense tree. So it was one of the great fortunes to be there, to be in Oman, to plant a sacred frankincense tree. And we had many adventures there too. Gary took us out into the woods and back. We saw the oldest frankincense tree in the world. It was 800 years old. We got to hang out with that tree for about it took us like 3 hours to get to it, and then we hung out at the tree for an hour, and we got to be there and take pictures around it, and it was absolutely amazing to do something like that. So someday we'll have to do a pictorial of all the pictures and all the adventures. Yes. We've also been on snowmobiling trips with Gary, because Gary's an adventurer. Gary likes to take people out and make them do things they've never done. So he takes a bunch of us out on a leadership retreat and says, let's all go snowmobiling. And guess what? Half the people never knew how to ride a snowmobile. We had people there from Hawaii that hardly ever been in snow, and they're riding snowmobiles, and we had people crash into trees. These are the adventures with Gary Young. It's been absolutely, amazing all the things that we've done and seen, and all the lives we have changed. The emotional release classes we've done emotional release classes. I think we did one in Hawaii where there were like 900 people or 1,000 people in that emotional release class in Hawaii, and people had all kinds of experiences there. People were levitating off the table. It's pretty amazing, wild experiences here with Young Living. So, but the companies. What I want to tell you is there's no such thing as a perfect company. Okay, so Young Living's not perfect. Young Living's going to frustrate you. They're going to do things that make you angry. They're going to do things that do all kinds of things. Guess what? You need to stay the course. Absolutely. No matter what happens. That's the reason I'm a diamond today, over 21 years. 8 comp plan changes. 8 comp plan changes. Every one for the worse. Except for the last one. The last one was good. The last one was the one we're in now, but we've had 8. I've been through 8 comp plan changes. We've been through, seems like hundreds of new corporate people. we rotate corporate people like people rotate underwear. It seems like in and out, in and out, in and out. So, but the secret to our success is we never gave up. We continued to share, and we put one foot in front of the other, no matter what happened. Okay. No matter what happened, whether my check went down or my check went up, I put one foot in front of the others, because guess what? Do the products work? Yes. Do they always work? Yes. Do we need to share them always? Yes. Will good things always happen to you in the end? Yes, absolutely. So that's what happened to me. I continued to share through all the obstacles, through all the upset, through all the hardships. And I've also built friendships with people like yourselves all around the world. That's the amazing part. So how many people, I want to acknowledge our team. How many people from our team are in the room? If you want to please stand up. That's all. If you're in Galen or Jeffrey Lewis's team, please stand up. So I want to give you guys a round of applause. These are people who came all over. I'm very, very thankful to every one of these people. They're hard workers. And, that's what it's created. It's created this wonderful time of friendship and bonds. I have friends that I can go to across the world. I can go to Bali and stay with somebody. I can go to Europe and stay with people. I have so many friends through this Young Living team, and that's what it's been for me. It's about the bonds of friendship. And there's so many friends that I have here in Florida that I love to come here to Florida. First of all, It's cold as hell in New Jersey right now. It's, let's see, I looked this morning, it was 24 degrees again. I was like, oh man, I gotta go home to that. Yes, I wanted to stay, but things are happening back in New Jersey that I have to attend to. So it's all about your friendships, your business building, and having fun with this, learning from other people. You got Sarah coming this afternoon. She's going to rock your world this afternoon with what she's going to teach. I have a lot of people on our team really embracing some of Sarah's teachings and really making it work and having fun with this. So I have about 8 more minutes to go. Anybody want another story? What do you guys want? You want to know? Another? Go ahead, a question?
You said you had 3 ways to do income-producing activities, but you only gave us 2.
Okay. So the first way is I sponsor somebody. The second way is if I teach that person to sponsor somebody. The question was, I said there were 3 ways for income-producing activities. So she called me on it. I know there's 2. What would be the third way? Oh, yeah, and then teaching my leaders to do the same thing. So teaching my leaders to do the same thing. So you want to teach people to teach, which Sarah says, 2 who get 2. And you want to have everyone doing income-producing activities. So who else has a question? Nobody has a question. What? Dog sled. Oh, well, Gary has about 150 dogs now. So it's crazy. He wants to do the Iditarod, and he's feeding them all kinds of healthy food and all kinds of oils and supplements. And last year he went out in the midst of being sick and all kinds of things and completed, I think, 2 200-mile races. It was like 20 or to 40 below zero. So Gary Young is probably, I can finish with this. Gary Young is probably the most amazing, visionary, purposeful person I've ever met in 10 lifetimes. Understand that this guy has been a blessing to us. He's a once-in-a-lifetime person. He's the only person I've ever seen talk about something, visualize it, and then he manifests it. I remember being at a convention where he said, yeah, next year we're going to have a clinic. I said, nah, that's not possible. I'm not going to have a clinic. And what do we have in Utah next year? We had a clinic in Utah. And then he built this farm in Ecuador. How have you guys been to the Ecuadorian farm? Oh, it's amazing. Amazing farm. I had one of my best trips out there. And he built that flat out of a piece of jungle that was like, they said, you can't build anything here. There's nothing here. And we have this huge, massive farm in Ecuador that is so freaking amazing. So we are so blessed to be with this man who has a vision. We're now building this huge, you guys know about the new corporate office? Yeah. So we're building this huge corporate office. Guess what? We're growing so fast because of every one of you. It's out of space already. It's like they added another 50,000 square feet to the building, and they're just saying when they occupy in 2019, we're going to be out of space. And so that's how fast you guys are causing Young Living to grow. How many of you guys are happy about the new warehouse? Yeah. Have you experienced some slow shipping? No, I don't know about that. Maybe. I'd like that to happen. But yeah, so they're really working hard to take care of our deliveries because we've suffered here. A lot of you guys suffered in December where you ordered product and maybe it finally showed up in January. It's been a mess, but guess what? That's all part of your journey. It's all part of being here and saying, okay, I toughed through. Remember when I didn't get product? I ordered it on December 10th. I got it on January 10th. And it came by dog sled. So it's all those kind of things that we go through. And so I'm just so happy and so blessed that I was able to share with you guys, and I love each and every one of you, and I want you all to become Royal Crown Diamonds. So let's go forward and do that. Thank you.